tuning in. The El Camino's been here for a while, and it's been collecting a ton of junk since it's been here. So, it's time to clean it out. Let's see what we can find. Hey Dan, run that intro.
Hey Gearheads, Happy New Year, if I haven't seen you yet. So, if you watched the last video, and if you didn't, go check out the link up there, you know that we got the El Camino home. So it's a 1967 El Camino, does need a frame, it's got no drivetrain, and it's got a lot of junk on it. And since it's been sitting here for a bit, it's got even more junk. So we're gonna go ahead and clean it up. But first, I'd like to announce the newest addition to Dan's Garage. And if you can see, we got microphones. So now I'm gonna sound the same back here, or all the way back here. Am I in it? I can't even see it. Or all the way back here. And that way, you won't have to keep adjusting your volume while you watch. So hopefully this will be a really great addition to our work here, and it will be, what is that floating? Hopefully it'll be a great addition to our footage here. Better production for you, so hopefully that will help us be better overall. This is a lot of jambalaya. So hopefully this will be a great addition for you, the viewer, to enjoy our videos. So we do thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. You can share the videos if you know someone else into cars. We're also on all the other social medias. You can check out those links down below. Other cool channels as well. But for now, let's get into cleaning this thing up. How about some high-speed video, time-lapse, and some cool music from Carlos. Alright guys, that's pretty much it, except for this. If you didn't see the video I did on this, go check out that link up there. I really feel like this thing has some decent floors in it, but there's a lot of junk. So let's get to cleaning out the junk, because as you can see, it's growing more junk. So until I can get rid of this thing, it's going to stay in my garage and more stuff is going to pile on top of it. But let's at least clean it out and take a look at the floors, because this is the way the back looks. And this is on the hood. So, as always, we need to move the 66 out of the garage first so we have some room to put all this stuff. Man, I love this car. Anyway, gotta get to work. So this is some things that made their way out of Mrs. Dan's Garage's car into Dan's DansgarageNC, so that's gonna get kicked out. This is a bunch of really good pieces of plywood that one of my neighbors didn't need, and well, who doesn't need plywood? So I took it, but we're gonna put that in the shed. We'll get this front end cleaned up a little bit. And I got a really cool plan for this, and it has to do with this. If any of you watch R&G Garage on YouTube, you may have an idea of what I'm thinking of doing. It's a little bit different, but it's gonna be cool, but I don't have time for that right now. I need to get back in the garage. So we got the hood cleaned off. You can see it is a flat hood. It is a Malibu base, not an SS base. It doesn't have hinges on it either, but I think I have old hinges from my 66 that I took off when I did the first restoration. So I'm going to put those hinges on it. That way at least we know that the hood will latch and have hinges and is not going to fly off when somebody tows it home. Does not have a windshield though, but whatever. Heading up to the roof. Only a couple items up on the roof, something Mrs. Dan's Garage bought and something for Mrs. Grandma Dan's Garage for her birthday. Shh, don't tell her. And onto the bed. So as everybody knows, these were kind of Chevelle front ends and pickup truck rear ends, so you could haul stuff. So when it's driving, it's hauling stuff, it's being useful. When it's a project car in a garage, it's just kind of getting stuff. So there are original things that came with the car that we need to clean out and see what kind of treasures are in there, clean out all the leaves and check out the floor. But of course it did obtain some new things. You know, I'm working on the wheels and tires for it. That's going to be coming up. But for now, let me go ahead and get rid of these wheels and tires and then we'll see what actually came with the car. So these are the wheels and tires I plan on putting on the car. I think it's going to look really good with rallies. I don't have time to paint them and clean them up, but as long as I can get tires that hold air, at least this thing will be able to roll when somebody buys it. So some of these items are items that came out of that last pewter Malibu, and they are some inner pieces. I may try to clean some of these up and sell them if they're useful, but honestly, some of this stuff is just garbage. It's old and it's cracked and you can get repros of this stuff, so I might just end up throwing it away, but I always like to give everything a second chance at life before I toss it. All right, so the first actual look is, looks like we have 3 bumpers in here. They all look like 67s. Looks like we have 2 fronts and a rear, which makes sense because we have a rear on this car and we need a front. So it looks like we got a second set. Those may go to the 67 Super Sport. I'm not sure if I have another set or not. We also have a heater box in here. And there's 2 taillights, which Willie gave to me after he found them after I took all the cars. So we have taillights for this car, so we'll put those on. There is some trim, so we'll see how much of that exists that is accurate for the car. I do see an inner panel for the tailgate, and I have those hinges off my 66 that we're going to put on the front. So let's get to cleaning this stuff out. So looking these over, it does look like the one on the bottom is a rear bumper for 67 and the top 2 are front bumpers for 67. The one set here does have the brackets on it, which is pretty cool. The top one only has 1 bracket on it, and it does not have the marker light housings either. So this one in the back is pretty torn up. So I don't know if that's even something that can get straightened out and re-chromed or if it's even worth it. Obviously these most likely are original bumpers. This one's got some chrome peeling off of it. And they all seem a little bit twisted. This other rear one looks like it's got a pretty good bow in it, probably because of that. So it looks like this one is in the best shape, and that is up front and has all the bracketry, which is good because we can put that on the front of the car. You can't see because the sun's out, but this is the front of the car and it needs a bumper. I do have, I'm in touch with a guy that has a grill, and I did want to buy that. It's got the center grill and both bezels that go all the way across the headlights, just because I figure it'll make it look better and hopefully they're usable and it will go to the next owner. And here's that heater box. It's the in-hood heater box. Looks like somebody has covered it in sheet metal. I'm assuming it rusted out and they did some really nice repair work. So not thinking this is going to be usable for anybody, but there may be pieces off of it, like this little vent, if they're in good shape, that someone can use. And maybe the valves inside, the doors. So who knows? We'll see if it's any good. Like I said, Willie did call me after I got all these cars and said, hey, I found the taillights for that El Camino. They do look like they're in really good shape. Nothing looks broken on them. So that is something we're going to be able to put on the car. It will make it look more complete and hopefully be something somebody can use. We got my old hood hinges from my 66, so I believe these will work to at least get the hood locked on. And then we have all this molding, which looks like it's bed molding, so we'll take this off, and once I get everything cleaned out, I'll see if I can figure out where everything goes and what we're missing. And then we have the inner tailgate cover, which is pretty rusty, but looks like it's actually in pretty good shape. So dust this off a little bit, and then we'll come back and clean out the rest of this bed and see if there's anything in here. So the rest of this just looks like a lot of crap, like trees, brush, and leaves, and things from the land. So we are going to send these back to the land, and I'll let you know if I find anything cool under here. And if I don't, I'll let you know what the floor looks like when I'm done. Alright, so that's all the stuff cleaned out of it. Didn't find anything other than some headliner pieces and a marker light housing, but let's get this vacuumed out and see what we got. And we're going to turn this into this. Wow, I am pretty impressed with this floor. It probably still needs to be replaced because it's got a lot of little holes. If you tried to sandblast this, you're probably going to be in trouble. But then again, it's fairly solid. If you wanted to put some putty in some of these holes and undercoat this or do some kind of treatment to it, you might be okay. And it's got this really neat front area, which if you didn't know, El Caminos have storage areas, sometimes in the front, sometimes in the back, sometimes both. I know wagons had them in the back, but this also has a tailgate, which we need to open up and see what's in there and also clean out that crease. But let's check out this front panel. Are you ready to see what's in here? Let's lift it up. Obviously, it's supposed to have nuts and bolts holding it down. Wow. All right, so pretty much what I figured. Nothing in here, and it's pretty rusty. You can see the frame. You can see the inner bedside over there, which looks like somebody hit it with a claw hammer. This center support, that's pretty shot over there. Let's see. Let's see some spots over here. It's a little rusted. Otherwise, it's got flaps for the doors to close nicely. The front of the panel actually looks pretty Pretty shot too. The wheelhouses look good down in here. So the bottom of the structure looks good, and the wheelhouses look okay. I mean, that one's dinged a little bit, and the lower that one's got some holes, but you know, some good stuff, some bad stuff. So with nothing really in here to clean up, we'll go ahead and put this panel back on. I might try to find some screws that fit in here, just so at least it's being held down. I know it's not going to fly around when somebody drives in this thing. Well, with the bed cleaned out, like I said, we got 3 bumpers. We got that back panel for the tailgate. Oh, we have to do the tailgate. All right, let's see if this tailgate will come down without hurting me. There's a little lever in here. I'm going to assume we lift this up. It's lifting. Maybe it's not lifting enough. All right, let me spray some lube on that. Put some lubricant in here, see if that'll do something. Spray some on the hinges too, a little bit. Might help. All right, let's see if that lubricant did anything, see if we can open this thing. I ain't getting it open. Another screw. Maybe it's locked. Wants to open, but it won't. Why won't that open? Hey, we got it. So there might just be a little bit of junk in there. And while this is partially open, I'm going to vacuum down here quick. And I do see we have some chains that are supposed to hold it from falling all the way down, so it will probably fall all the way down when I open it. But let me vacuum in here real quick first. So here's everything we got from the bed. We have the tailgate panel, which I probably can put on. We have the 3 bumpers, there's some trim, the hood hinges, which I put in there, the tail lights, the heater box, and the 1 parking light housing, which half of that stuff's pretty much shot. So let's see what we get from the interior. So I'm literally working on cleaning out the back of the El Camino, and Mrs. Dan's Garage puts a box on the front of the El Camino that I just cleaned. You see how quickly these cars can become storage units? Make sure that you clean up your cars often, not like I have, but I am for this video. So we're gonna get rid of that box and then we'll see what the interior looks like. So it does have a dashboard, although it's falling down. It's got a nice steering wheel and it looks like the steering column is intact. And it's got a bench seat. I'm pretty sure it's not original. Looks like it's out of something from the 70s, but it is full of leaves. There's a tailpipe on it, and it is not bolted down. So let's go ahead and get this seat out and see what's under it. One of the other things about cars like this that impresses me, other than the windows rolling up and down, which this does have a window, is how nicely the doors open and close if the whole car is not trash. So let's see. Opens nice. Doesn't even make any squeaky noises. Look at how nice the inside of this door is. You can see the original gold paint. I'd have to look. I don't know if it's Granada gold or some other gold, but it does look very nice. And as you can see, there's a window in this door. It's still got the nice trim for the door panel, and I'm gonna leaf that right there. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. Terrible dad jokes, I know. So get rid of this stuff, and this thing's like petrified. There we go. So not too much junk. This is not snake skin. Don't get excited, Ashley. This is just the wrapping they put on the door lock. So not much junk on the door, which is nice. And actually all the trim poppers are still here from the original trim. So the panel's gone, but that's still here. So let's see what's inside this thing. Looks like there is another back panel for a tailgate. And looks like the gas pedal is down there. It does have a carpet that looks like it's from an office. And then, like I said, we have a lot of leaves and we have a tailpipe. So we're gonna clean that up, and then we'll try to get this bench seat out by myself. And then it looks like there's a muffin back there. If anybody's hungry, I'm sure you don't wanna eat that. So we'll see what else is going on. Looking up, looks like the bows are here for the headliner, which is good. The sun visors are here. That side, we have no door glass, just the vent. No front or back glass, but it does have this vent glass as well. All right, so the first thing in here is an exhaust pipe, which pretty sure we don't need. It's pretty rusty. I doubt I'll keep this around. Garbage. And then we have a lot of leaves. So let me get the leaf garbage can, and I'll try to get these out as cleanly as possible. I'm just gonna have to vacuum it up off the floor. It's all right, it's a garage. All right, try to clean some of this up before we vacuum it. If I can pick it up, I don't want to vacuum it up. All right, I'm pretty sure I can just pull this thing right out, so let's see what happens. Oh, it's breaking. Something's breaking. Let's see if I can grab it from the bottom. That's a little bit. Oh, stuff in the back is falling. Oh, this top doesn't feel like it's part of the bottom at all. Looks like this thing might not go back in here. Looks like they screwed it together with plates. Oh my goodness. Oh, this whole thing's falling apart. All right, well, we gotta get it out of here to clean it up. So, see if I can push it from the other side. I feel like it's stuck on somebody. Oh, there we go. It's getting somewhere. Buy a classic car, they said. It'll be fun, they said. All right, well, this is barely hanging on. All right. Oh, chalkboard. was fun. All right, so we got the seat out. I didn't have to wrestle that side too much, so it stayed on, but this side pretty much fell apart. It's real rusted. The frame here is messed up. They actually took plates here and like screwed it together, I guess to try to hold it. So this was up here like this, and they just screwed some bolts in there, I guess, to try and keep it together. Oh, this whole thing is gonna fall on its back. Let's see what it looks like. They did some handiwork over there too. So most of it is shot. So I don't honestly know if I'm gonna even put this back in there. What do you guys think? Put a comment down below and say you should have just kept the seat out and thrown it away, or put the seat in. At least it's something for somebody to possibly sit on if it's in there. But let's take a first look at the car without a seat. So we do have another tailgate panel in here. Headliner, maybe some interior panels, and this nasty carpet. So this should not take too long to clean up. So let me clean this up and we'll see what it looks like. There's another tailgate panel. Looks like it matches this. So maybe this is the correct tailgate panel and this other one is not. Bonus tailgate panel. Let me clean this metal up so I don't need a tetanus shot. I wonder if I should just pick this whole thing up and throw it in the trash. I don't know if there's anything useful in here. Oh my gosh. Hey, look at this. Look at this. We actually found some useful things. Well, this one's cracked. I was just about to say, let me just take this and throw the whole thing out. And then I was like, well, let me just make sure there's not anything useful in here. This is a spring for a door handle or window crank. Here's another lens and a gasket. Here's a big round sanding disc, not really part of the car. Here's a remote mirror bezel, and it's still got the clip on it too. That's neat. Here's a broken, so maybe there's not anything useful in here. There's a bolt, seatbelt, bolt. All right, well, I'll keep digging through here and see what I can find. Don't know what that is. I pulled the whole thing out. I figured it'd be easier to go through this out here and pull out anything I think is useful. The rest is just gonna go in the trash. There's a chrome exhaust tip. Not really chrome anymore, is it? But we can recycle that. There's a big roll of double-sided tape. All this is going in the trash, so I'm not gonna separate out the leaves anymore because it's just a pain in the neck. And then we'll just roll this up as we go along. This lovely carpet. And there's a wire loom for the firewall, a lug nut, a windshield wiper. I'll just throw that stuff out separately. Another lug nut, some screws. Alright, I think this carpet is done, so throw this in the trash and then we'll clean up this floor and then we'll get back to the interior. Alright, let's see what's left of the interior. Wow. Looks like somebody's been pretty busy with the white sheet metal. Oh, there's another housing for a parking light. Wheel cylinder. Looks like a piece of wood. Yeah, somebody's redone the floor in this, which if you want to drive it like that, that is perfectly fine with me. Alright, got the interior cleaned out on the El Camino, and there's a floor. It's not really the original floor. I don't know what somebody did to this. They used some kind of sheet metal and painted it white, or white sheet metal. They made a mess up here. It's like lapped over the original floor, so who knows what it looks like behind that. They didn't go up over the tranny hump, which is normal because that's usually fine. They did go up here, but they did cut out for the seat belt. There's some kind of weird mesh back here. I mean, gosh, who knows what they did, but it does kind of have a solid floor. So if you want to put some bolts in it and put the seat in, which is probably not going to be this seat. I am going to put this one back in, but it is pretty rusted and messed up and shot. But I'm going to put it back in because it's here and I don't want to have to throw it away, and I don't have anything else to put in here. So we're going to do that. Other notables are the steering wheel, which is nice. Of course, it's got a couple cracks. It does have a dashboard in it, 2,179 miles. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. 2,179 miles was a power glide, as we can see, drive and low, which is neat. Looks like it's got a empty gas tank. We don't care about that. It does have a clock. That's pretty neat. Shift on the column. It does have a key, and we actually did find another key for it. Let me see it up there, but we'll look at that later. There is no glove box. The insides of the doors, of course, look awesome. There is no window on that door, but there is on this door. So you do have glass here, and you have the vent window, and you also have the vent window on that side. No front glass, no back glass, and again, I ended up putting all this stuff in the bed, but I will clean this out and we'll go over it before I sell it. Other than that, it's almost ready. I have to put the hinges on the hood, which is kind of bent too. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. So you can see the hood has a little peak in it, so the hood will probably need to be replaced. Other than that, let's close that door. Watch this. I mean, that closes beautifully. It's got a decent gap. It does look like there's some work done on the back. Somebody sanded it down. I do plan on still taking these wheels off and putting rallies on it. I have 3 of them done. I got to finish the last one and then do the hinges and then put that bumper on the front, put the taillights on the back, and this one will be ready. So let's keep going and see where we get to. Let's not. Sorry, I was editing that video and it was seeming like it was getting pretty long. So I'm going to cut this video off here. The next video on this, obviously, as you can see, we'll be cleaning it out again. Some things have already found their way into the bed that don't belong here. So the next video on this might not be the next week, but the next video on this is going to be doing the hinges on the hood, doing the taillights on the back, putting the wheels and tires on it, and possibly getting it up on the trailer so we can do a real good visual of everything underneath, including the frame. I want to show you the frame issues. Like I said, it does need a frame, doesn't have a drivetrain, but I'll be able to do a full walk around, maybe even get it down on the street and do some far away pictures and video of it so you can see what this thing will look like on the ground. I would leave this patina and just put a drivetrain in it and fix the frame and have at it. Maybe glass, I guess. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. The next one is going to be the final video on this, and then it will be for sale. Clean title in my name, ready to go to someone to love and enjoy. And then I'm going to be going to Virginia, getting another car, bringing it back here to the garage and working on getting that one ready for sale. So until next time, stay positive and keep on wrenching.